Yeah, there was like a there was like a mobilization. Um, how to even put it, like revisions. I don't know. Basically, Ministry of Defense. It's so fucking insane that they always say Ministry of Defense was sending notes to Belarusian people, or called the numbers of men of mobilization age, and they were basically asking, what they're doing, where they're working, how many family members they've got, so on and so forth. I was actually avoiding for quite a long time those calls. Um, I was literally like numbers that I didn't know in my that weren't basically in my contact list. I just didn't pick up and immediately banned them, blocked them. But then I was doing it for so long, and several of my like acquaintances and so on and so forth got those calls, and those calls were basically like, um, yeah. So hey, like, so you didn't need to go to mobilization office, to the draft office. It was all done by the phone, so I feel like it was mostly done like for like, fuck, just fuck off basically, because a lot of things in Russia and Belarus are done like that. It's just like fuck off. Um, Basically, what they've asked is your like family status. Are you married, not married? Do you have children? How many? Because I think like if you have like 3 children, you have, imagine that, only if you have 3 children, then you have exemption basically, even if you are like over whatever 25, 28, 30 age, then you have an exemption of going essentially to war if there is like a martial law and it's a wartime. Only if you have 3 children. It doesn't even matter about your like diseases or whatnot, conditions. So that, like, yeah, they asked like where they work and so on and so forth. So anyway, long story short, I was avoiding it for so long then that actually I got the letter, like, not letter even, it's just like a fucking piece of paper. It's not even a letter, so it cannot be official really. Someone basically put some piece of fucking shit in my like in post box, and I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. So they actually visited the house where I'm kind of signed in my passport. Like assigned to, because in Belarus you have to be assigned in your passport to some location, and if you change the location, then you're gonna be assigned to like a different location in your passport. There will be a stamp which would say like where you like legally, sort of legally, live, kind of a thing. And technically, you kind of need to, if you move somewhere inside of Belarus, technically you need to re-register. Kind of, it's like a lot of shit to control people. There is no such freedom as like, there is, but kind of legally, kind of not really, where you can just pick up your ass and move anywhere, and then the government doesn't fucking cannot find you, doesn't know where you are, and so on and so forth. They're trying to avoid that. They're trying to control people as much as they can. So anyway, I was thinking a long time, like, what the fuck should I do? In the end, I decided I'm probably like bringing too much attention to myself by really avoiding it, because I'm living in a smaller city, not the giant one, but not the smallest one, in a smaller city. And I was thinking that probably I'm bringing a bit too much attention to myself. So I decided, okay, let me give them a call, because I'm definitely not going there. So I called them and I'm like, well, I found that shit. What the fuck do you want from me? Basically, without like swear words, but with that attitude. Some woman like fucking said, "Oh yeah, we didn't know how to find you, la la la," and I'm like, "Okay, well, cool. What do you want?" And again, they just ask like these several questions: Where do you live, or yeah, like, are you living where you assigned to, like in this passport thing, uh, or where you like, yeah, status of your relationships or whatnot, and blah blah. And then she's like, yeah, well, thank you, bye. So I'm pretty sure that was done. In Russian, there is this like not yibis. There is this concept of who gives a fuck kind of doing things like who gives a fuck, whatever. I feel like it's mostly done like that to basically give some reports back to the higher up people. I don't know, like it definitely worried me. Let's put it that way, because in that draft on it's not draft notice, but in that notice that I've got, it was saying that it's like a yearly sort of recounting, we're just like updating our statistics, whatever. But I know that this is not yearly because it's never happened before. Literally, in whatever, like 15 to whatever, 10, I don't know how many years, since I've got like this little piece of paper that says like I'm not going to serve or whatever. Yeah, it's happened for the very first time. So that is slightly worrying. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.